So, are you planning to appear for NTSC this year? If yes, then you don't have to miss this video at all because CBSE eZone brings you all the details regarding NTSC. Now, first of all, let us start with what is NTSA, because when children come in class 10, then they hear so much about NTSC. So, what is it actually? So, it's an examination which is conducted by NCERT to identify and nurture the talented students of class 10. So, basically, it is the talent identification test. So when it comes to NTSC, so that there might be several children thinking about, is there any reservation in the NTSC exam also? So yes, there is reservation in the NTSC exam also, because as on date 2000, scholarships are awarded in the country, and in this 2000 scholarships which are for NTSC, there is reservation of 15% for SC, 7.5% for ST, and 27% for backward classes, and 4% for children with benchmark disabilities. So all of you can think about appearing for NTSC exam. So let us see, once you decide, you might have heard from other children that we have to give NTSC. So what is NTSC? I've already told you. And then let us see what is the selection procedure of NTSC. So basically this talent test comprises of two stage of selection process, and while the first stage is conducted by the state itself, like suppose you're residing in Rajasthan, then that first stage of exam would be conducted by the Rajasthan state government, and if you're in Haryana, then it will be by Haryana government. But and once you qualify the first stage, then you will have to appear for the national level examination, and this national level examination is conducted by NCERT. So once you're appearing for the stage 1 examination, you can also, most of the syllabus is from CBSE, but there's no harm in also looking into the syllabus of your local the state board. So you can, because since the first stage examination is conducted by the states, so there can be a probability of a few concepts coming up from the state government syllabus also. Now let's try to understand more about the state level examination, which is the first stage. So every state has a fixed number of students which can be forwarded for the second level, which is a national level examination. So there is a difference between qualifying the first level and becoming eligible for the national level. You might qualify the first stage exam, but you might not get the chance to go to the national level examination. Now why? Because every state has a certain quota of student which can be recommended by them for the national level, and so the list which is made by the state is made based on the merit. So the number, so even all the children who are qualifying, the names would be arranged on the basis of their merit, on the basis of the marks which they have scored. And the important thing is to qualify with higher score, because just qualifying would not give you a chance to go for the national level examination. The number of children who can appear for the national level examination are fixed for each state, and this number is fixed depending upon the number of students who are appearing for the class 10th examination in each states respectively. Once you come for national level examination, which is the second stage, then this is purely based on NCERT syllabus, and because this is conducted by NCERT, so your books will be sufficient for NTSC exam. But remember, if you are appearing for the exam on 10th in 10th standard, it does not mean that you will be getting the syllabus of only class 10th, whereas you have to be ready with the syllabus of 9th as well as 10th to be able to qualify for the NTSC exam. So if you are going through each and everything of the syllabus which is suggested by NCERT, and you just go through the books of NCERT, that would be sufficient for you to qualify the national level examination, which is the second stage one. But remember, it is not about knowing things. It's not about whether you know the book by heart or not. When it comes to examinations of this level, it is more important that you know things and you are able to perform in that limited duration, because you have certain time limit also to do that those things. So you should be able to perform in that limited time. So just knowing is not important. So here comes your practice. The more you practice these kinds of questions, the more you will be able to work on your speed. Now coming to what is the eligibility for NTSC exam. So all the children who are studying in class 10th, irrespective of which school they are, whether it's Kendriya Vidyalaya, Navodaya Vidyalaya, Sainik school, but they should be from the recognized school and they will be able to appear for the NTSC exam in whichever state they are living. So domicile is not needed for this exam. So whichever state you are living, from that state you can apply for NTSC. But in the first level examination, maybe there is a possibility that your state can specify certain kind of eligibility for this appearing for the first level, maybe certain percentage which might be required in the ninth standard for you to appear for the exam. So that depends upon state to state, and that qualifying percentage may differ from state to state. Now how to apply for NTSC exam? Many of the schools themselves, they tell the children when the NTSC exam forms come out, and they get the forms filled by their students. So many of the schools take up the responsibilities, and few of the coaching institutes also take up the responsibility. But if neither of this is happening in your case, then you can also look out for the advertisements in the newspapers or circulars of the school, and you can also apply on your own. So now coming to examination, the state level examination, which is the first examination, which consists of two part 1 and part 2. The part 1 is about the mental ability test, which is called as MAT, and part 2 is about the scholastic aptitude test, which is called as SAT. Now let us look at the scheme of the examination, more details about the first level examination. So most of the time this date is fixed that the first stage examination is conducted on first Sunday of November, and there are two papers, paper 1, paper 2. The first one, as we have already discussed, is mental ability test, and second one is called scholastic aptitude test. So number of questions in MAT is 100 and number of questions in SAT is also 100, and there will be 40 questions of science, 20 of maths and 40 of SST. And so as you can see, 100 marks for math and 100 marks for SAT. That means each question carries 1 mark. The total of 120 minutes you will get to solve these 100 questions, and here in the second paper also you will get 120 minutes to solve the 100 questions. So now what is the qualifying marks here? So 32% marks are required for SC, ST and the disabled, physically disabled people, and 40% for others like general and OBC class. So here but as I have already cleared that qualifying does not mean that you will be going to national level, as there will be a merit list which will be made, and only the meritorious children would be eligible to go for the national level examination. And so now what is the selection criteria? Selection criteria is that the candidate has to pass has to get qualifying marks both in mental ability test and scholastic aptitude test. And so there will be the total marks of these two will be calculated, and then the merit will be made according to that only. And there will be no negative marking in the test, so even if you go wrong you will not end up getting the negative marking for that. Now, what about the result of the first level? So, the state will prepare a merit list based on the minimum qualifying marks in both SAT and MAT, and then the results would be declared somewhere in the month of January or February. Considering that you have qualified the first level, so now let us come to the detailing of the national level examination. So now what is the eligibility of national level examination? This is the eligibility of the candidates who are studying in India. So the candidates which are selected by the states depending upon the merit, they will be appearing for national level examination, which will be conducted by NCERT, and this national level examination would be conducted on second Sunday of May. So this was the case till last year. Not this year. Also, hopefully, it will remain the same. And so NCERT will convey the roll number, venue, date, and time for the national level examination to all the candidates through the portal. And so this is the site of the NCERT where you can check about the details of the NTSC examination. And regarding the children who are not living in India, those children would not have to appear for the first level examination. They can directly go for the national level examination, but to appear for the test, they would have to come to India to give the test, and that is the eligibility which would be required by them. Now, coming to the syllabus of the national level examination, however, there is no prescribed syllabus for the national level examination, but then you should be prepared with the subjects which are in class 9th and class 10th, and you can also look out for a booklet which is named Learn About the Test from the site of NCERT, and which will be containing some sample items of MAT and SAT, and you can print it to see about the sample of the examination. Now, scheme of testing here, as I've already conveyed, that the examination would be conducted on the second Sunday of May every year. So rest of the things like remains the same. There'll be two papers, one on SAT, other on MAT. There'll be 100 questions, and you'll be getting 120 minutes for both the questions. There'll be no negative marking, and qualifying marks would be considered separately for SAT and MAT. That means you have to get the qualifying marks both separately in SAT and MAT, so not together. And so you will be your merit will be made depending upon the total marks which you have scored together in SAT and MAT. Now, about the medium of the test. The test is available in several languages like Asamiya, Bangla, English, Gujarati, Hindi, Kannada, Marathi, Malayalam, Odia, Punjabi, Tamil, Telugu, and Urdu. So while you are filling up the form, you have to give the option of the language which you want to choose for the exam. And once you choose, there can be no change made in the language after that. And because your question paper would be made accordingly, depending upon the choice of the language which you have made. Now, regarding the admit card, the NCERT will load the e-admit card for the second level examination on the website, and once you get that e-admit card, there will be certain details which you have to fill on the e-admit card. You also have to paste a attested passport size photograph in the place allotted for the photograph in e-admit card, and then you have to take this e-admit card on the day of the examination, and this has to be submitted to the teacher or center superintendent on the day of examination. Now, regarding the marks for national level examination, marking for national level examination, here the marking also remains the same, just like in the state level examination. Each question would carry 1 mark, and there will be no negative marking for the test. Now, once the result is compiled by the authorities, depending upon your combined scores of MAT and SAT, so only the selected candidates would be informed by the registered letter and through NCERT website, and marks obtained by the candidate would be given in written in the written examination would be given to the child individually. Now, coming to the scholarships which you will be getting in NTSC examination, a scholarship of rupees 1250 per month is given to the children of class 11th and 12th, and scholarship of rupees 2000 per month is given for undergraduate and postgraduate programs, and then scholarship also is given if you want to still continue with your higher education like PhD, and this is according to the norms of UGC. But then for the scholarships, it would be advisable if you go through the rules and regulations of the scholarship, and as the scholarship would be given to children who would be in science stream or social science, humanities, language, commerce, vocational studies, and fine arts. And even you can get the scholarship up to PhD, but even if you pursue the courses like medicine, engineering, technology, management, and law, you still would be eligible for scholarship, and that would be up to second degree level. So I hope I have answered all the questions regarding the NTSC examinations which have been coming up in your mind. You still have something remaining. You can always put it in the comment box, and I would ensure that I answer to all the queries which have been put forward by you. And and for the and as you thank you for being connected with CBSE eZone. And as you already know that CBSE eZone is expanding every day to give you the best education possible. So you can always refer to our blog and also our YouTube channel for further updates. And we have also started giving education in class 10th. We have started with maths, English, and soon would be starting with the science also, and also continue watching class 12th. So if you like my channel, and if you think that you gained enough perspective on this NTSC examination, so do subscribe and recommend to your friends. Like, comment. Thank you so much, and best of luck.